Just one Smarties. Yeah. So is it supposed to be a suspension or is it supposed to be a solution? Solution? No, suspension. I'm testing you. Okay. Miss Jay's like, you better answer right. Did you cover that today? Yeah. You have to know the difference. Solution is one phase. The active ingredients usually in solid form dissolve entirely in the dissolved medium. So it's only one phase. You cannot see separation. But a suspension is what? It doesn't dissolve entirely. It's called a suspension because the active ingredients usually get suspended. And that's why we add suspending agent. And that's why this always comes up on the PTCE. And that's why you add the auxiliary label what? Shape up. Let's wait for now. Ashley, you're here? Good, she called. Yeah. Did the Blackboard finally come through? Yeah, Michelle, can you check Blackboard, please? I checked yesterday because I was getting impatient, and I saw that there's 2 sets of copies. Oh my gosh! I started deleting the folders again.
Because the first time was taking too long.
Yeah, I did it again, and then the class was over. They're still not getting it.
Yeah.
My meeting was over. They're still not getting it. So I said, okay. And then Regina came here and said, okay, you're the Blackboard expert. Come over here. I said, maybe when I show it to you, it's already there. Exactly. When I showed it to her, it was already there.
She's the Blackboard expert.
Yeah. Before the pandemic, we were just not using Blackboard. She was the one teaching us into this stuff from grad.
Oh.
Yeah, but because that's what they use. Because during the pandemic, they were the ones who kind of had a head start. We were just learning. We only use Blackboard before first grade. Okay, ready? Phones away. Good morning, pharmacy. I was here early for a demo teaching. I usually get until here. I usually get invited when there are new applicants and instructors. So they do a teaching demo, and then instructors, usually leads, go and sit and watch them do the teaching demo. And then grade them, we'll make a comment. I remember when I did my teaching demo here, I was already teaching at State College. I did my teaching demo. I had to think of a topic. They did the same, she did the same. I had to think of a topic that I will present. Okay? Faculty coordinator and staff, whoever's in there, will pretend to be students. There can be an annoying student in there. There can be total silence in there. You just don't know. So the topic I chose was capsule making. I wanted to tell this story because you guys are in the PHA 225, which is pharmacy lab skills class. Okay. So I chose the topic capsule making because it's interesting, right? I was thinking I'm gonna have my audience make capsules out of baby powder or out of flour, whatever it is. But I don't have the materials here because I don't work here at that time, 20 years ago, but I have materials from the other school. So I brought my own mortar and pestle, I brought my own materials, and usually you don't know where the teaching demo is, which classroom. So they said the teaching demo to be in the vet classroom. There used to be no vet clinic yet at that time. I didn't say anything. I'm allergic to dogs. Yeah, I'm allergic to dogs. I didn't know that I was allergic. I thought I was allergic to the dog's fur. I'm actually allergic to the dog's saliva. And I get welts when the dog licks me. The reason why we don't have a dog every time I feel bad for the pet, the dogs, every time we see it, then he'll tell our neighbors, we can't have a dog because my mom's allergic to dogs, but she's only allergic to the saliva. What do dogs do? Okay. So I didn't say anything. It wasn't a vet program. I was having a hard time breathing. But I know that I'm not going to pass out because a dog isn't licking me. It's just that that classroom always had dogs in there. And I think that time I didn't know specifically that it was saliva. Already. So I didn't say anything. I just did a presentation. The faculty coordinator was Mr. Kohler. I did a presentation. I had a main capsule, so I had fun. Okay. After the presentation, and I did say I was pregnant too at that time. It doesn't show yet because it's not big yet. Okay, so it's not because I'm afraid to be discriminated or whatnot. Nobody asks if you're pregnant or what. Mr. Jackson one time, it's like, you know, you're a coach, right? He asked me when I'm not even pregnant, like, are you pregnant? The coats I was wearing. I said, oh, man. I said, I was just wearing these coats that day. So anyway, I did that presentation, and after that, I got the night instructor job at Pima. And then that's when I said, when I was processing my paperwork, I said, would it be a problem if I'm pregnant because I'm pregnant right now? And the practice coordinator said, of course not at all, but it's not showing. It didn't show until probably 7 months. This morning, sorry about the dog. It's a vet instructor. Okay? The demo was for vet instructor position. And I knew it was a vet instructor position, but I've attended so many teaching demos, but never with an animal or a dog in the demo. So we were at the resource center. But I was in the front because I was just rushing and trying to catch her, but she wasn't there yet. And it was a pit bull that she said it's small for a pit bull. And she's so cute. Jumped on me. Oh. Okay. And started licking me. Yeah, and I have meetings today. We have an advisory board meeting today. So I said, as much as I can pet, no problem. But as much as I wanted to really play with the dog, so cute, I couldn't. But so I had to watch. I feel bad because I had to watch. I have a meeting at 2 o'clock. We have a meeting at 2 o'clock. I know it happens to me when a dog licks like big blotches everywhere. Lick me here. Oh no, this is not today. But anyway, so your instructors go through that process. It's not okay. Somebody refer this. Very good. The application put in my evaluation. The clinical director is there, and Shay did the same thing. Had to do it again, right? But I was actually jumping in her class already when she did that. It's funny, when she was still at San Marcos, at the San Marcos campus, I said, I really have to do your teaching demo. So she was carrying her laptop, doing a tour of this, and yeah, she was doing labs.
Oh, we were doing blood pressure reading. And I wanted to do it while they're resting, and then walked around to see if it changed.
Right. And I've never been to the San Marcos campus. So I said, and she said, you want a tour? I said, yeah, I want a tour. And she was holding her laptop and taking me to the entire San Marcos campus. But she was doing pharmacology then, and she said, we're doing blood pressure reading. I said, wow, you're doing blood pressure reading. So it's like an extra thing. And that was still during the pandemic. She transitioned. With Trisha, went through the same process, okay? She was a graduate from 10 years ago. I didn't have her as a student. She was in a different class. She was in the morning. So probably I started, I don't know, so not 11 years ago, because I was very part-time here. Most of my time was at CS. So probably I did stuff in the morning. So even if she was a graduate, she had to go through the entire training because so many things have changed already, right? So Ms. Trisha had to shadow me. She watched she was sitting in every single class of mine for 8 months. Or she finally had. I tell you that your instructors will do that and train. And today we have an advisory board meeting. Ellie, did you get the reminder? Let's do. And that's when we get pharmacists, pharmacy technicians, or partners, all that. This is what we're doing. We have a new curriculum. You might be asked today about the hybrid program. And we have different representatives. Like Ellie will represent the current student group, and then we have graduates. We have this is a good way for us to bring in leadership partners. Okay, so somebody requested that I do a Roman numerals video, so I'm going to do that. But before we do, let's pick up from where we left off yesterday. Yesterday, Celsius to Fahrenheit conversion, Fahrenheit to Celsius conversion, right? We didn't finish. I had to run to another meeting. So let's do the answers for this particular worksheet. Number 1, Edwin. Again, I think you're not reading it.
Oh, 66.2.
What did you say? 62.6, right? You can't be dyslexic in pharmacy. Cannot. Not. Okay? You cannot say 32 milligrams when it's 23 milligrams. Okay? Again, number 1. Very good. What's our rule for Celsius to Fahrenheit, Fahrenheit to Celsius conversion temperature? Keep 1 decimal place. Okay? Keep 1 decimal place. You don't check the vitals of the patient as pharmacists or pharmacy technicians. Okay? You don't check the temperature. However, what do we do? What do we check? What does Ellie do every day? Refrigerator reading, right? So storage conditions of drugs. Okay? This is a very common question for the PTCE, for your national certification exam, okay? But it's application. What does that mean? Well, there's going to be a case like a baby which experiencing fever or has fever, and then the temperature given may be in Fahrenheit, and then your options will be in Celsius, or temperature given may be in Celsius, and the options given in Fahrenheit. And then another topic that comes up on the PTCE with regard to temperature is storage conditions. Okay, I gave you a copy of like what's refrigerator range, right? What's refrigerator range? 2 to 8 degrees Celsius. Okay, so one of the cases or one of the examples that can be thrown at you and that I've seen on the PTCE is there's a drug, a given drug. We know that it's a refrigerated drug. It's the drug that needs to be refrigerated. So the question is, where should we store this drug? Okay, and the temperature ranges. And if you don't know that the refrigerator temperature is between 2 to 8 degrees Celsius, you cannot answer that question. You following? Okay, I'm telling you what temperature means to you when it comes to being a pharmacy technician or a pharmacist. Because for others, like for the nurses and other ones who are getting vitals, temperature means different to them. What does that mean? Well, they need to check the vitals of the patient, which is, part of it is temperature reading, right? Okay, which was Jamie's stuff during the pandemic. Right, Jamie? Okay, Edwin, continue, 2, 3, 4.
39.2 Fahrenheit, 39.8 Celsius, and 37.8 Celsius.
Correct, good job. Geneva, before you start, what is a freezer temperature then? If it's 2 to 8 degrees Celsius for refrigerator, what's freezer? I give you the table, right? What's freezer temperature? Freezing temperature.
-20 degrees to and -70 Celsius.
If you know your ranges, temperature ranges in Celsius, it shouldn't be a problem to convert your Celsius to Fahrenheit, and that's how you get tested too. Okay, 5, 6, 7, 8, Geneva.
69.8 Fahrenheit, 39 degrees Celsius, 37 degrees Celsius, 86 Fahrenheit.
Correct. 9, 10, 11, 12, Ellie.
30 Celsius, 69.8 Fahrenheit, 50.6 Fahrenheit,
What is it? 11, 11 again. 53. I didn't hear the 3, sorry. 53.6 Fahrenheit.
38.8 Celsius.
Did I say up to 13? Or 12? Okay. 13, 14, 15, 16, negative. Correct. 17, everyone. 15 Celsius and 18, 20 Celsius. Okay. You're doing PTCE 2.5, which is pharmacy lab skills. Okay. Temperature. How is this going to affect you, or how does this play a role in PTCE 2.5? What was that? In the fridge, correct? Drugs that need to be refrigerated or frozen. All right. What else?
Some of the ingredients might be in Celsius.
Some of the ingredients might
Might be in Celsius.
might be in Celsius. Okay. What do you mean ingredients in Celsius? Storage conditions. Okay. Another thing, you're doing PTCE 2.5. That is compounding, right? Okay. So you're mixing. You're doing sterile and non-sterile compounding, right? Correct. Okay. So there are substances that don't mix. And what do we do to mix them? We add heat. Yeah. To liquefy. Okay. Say, for example, you're making a syrup. How do you make a syrup? You heat sugar and water. Right? Because if it's just a stirrer we're going to use, which we have, okay, it's going to take forever. Right? So with the addition of heat, then we can mix sugar and water. Okay. Another thing, not necessarily mixing or compounding, how does temperature play in your practice? When you have to sterilize something by heat, right? Remember my story about this is sterile compounding related. School pharmacist, right? Part of my job is to prepare normal saline every time my shift is swing. Okay. So after I clock in, I go straight to the back of the pharmacy. Okay. And there used to be not a lot of IV bags. There used to be in bottles. And I'll measure salt. Okay. Put the salt in, measure the salt, put the salt in the bottle, add water. Okay. Seal it. Put it in a cart, and then somebody will pick that up for autoclaving and for sterilization. Okay. So that's another. That's why we need to say when you're writing your conversions temperature, drop that trailing zero. Do not forget your leading zero. Why? If you write 66.2, if you write 30.0, it can be misread as 300. I know it doesn't make sense when it's body temperature, right? But don't always think that it's just body temperature we're talking about. It can be high heat due to sterilization, especially during this period. Next topic, Roman numerals. Okay, this is just a review. Roman numerals. We have rules in Roman numerals, and I want to highlight them. What are the most common Roman numerals that we use in pharmacy? Okay. What's the other one though? What do you call this? If it's written this way. Great. Arabic. Remember? This is your Arabic numbers. Okay. So Roman numerals in practice of medicine or pharmacy, what do we use most common? I, you said I. So we can do capital I. What else? We got B, X. What else? L, C, D, and M. These are not the only Roman numerals. There's more, okay? But those are the ones that are most commonly used in pharmacy. There's one that you're forgetting. Lowercase ss, okay, which stands for sentence. What is this equivalent to? Half. What is I equivalent to? 1. What is V equivalent to? 5. What is X equivalent to? 10. What is L equivalent to? 50. What is C equivalent to? 100. What is D equivalent to? 500. And what is M equivalent to? 1,000. Okay. The way I remember this, a couple of these things. C is equivalent to, C, I remember it as century. There's 100 years in a century. And then millennium is 1,000 years. So M is 1,000. Okay. There are rules in using Roman numerals, especially in a series. Okay. But why do we use Roman numerals? And when do we use Roman numerals? We use Roman numerals where? In substances, okay, like the strand. Is that what you meant? The strand, say for example, it's grains, and then VI, GRVI. Is that what you meant or something else? Oh, very good. Yeah. Okay, controlled substances. So it can be C1, very good. C2, right? C3, C4, and C5. Good job. Okay, we use that for what? Schedule of substances, controlled substances. Then another one which I mentioned is what? Strength of a drug. Okay, usually for grains. Okay, you know how we usually write 60 milligrams, 1 grain, right? But when you write it in Roman numerals, the GR comes first. That's why you got confused a while ago in one of the tests, right? Okay, so it's GR first and then the Roman numerals. Okay, what else? Where else? Ounce, fluid ounce. Remember the bottle I showed you? Okay. You guys are working on this. You're working on this. I'm gonna snag it. Okay, so this one. Let's hear your 225 labs. So this one shows this symbol and then XVI. Okay. Just like I told you, you're using grain, the GR comes first before the Roman numerals. Okay. What does this mean? I told you this. This means ounces. Okay. This is a symbol for ounces. Okay? If it's like this, it's fluid ounces. Right? We don't use dram anymore because it's confusing. There's less squigglies on dram. Okay, fluid dram will be like this. Okay. This tells you that this bottle, the bottle says this XVI, and then the symbol. What does this mean? If the numbers are going to talk to you, what is it telling you? 16 ounces. The capacity of this bottle is 16 ounces. You cannot put anything more than 16 ounces on this. But in pharmacy, in medicine, we always do what? Metric. So we have to convert this. And how do we convert that to metric? 16 ounces to what? We're talking liquid, so it's going to be ml. Okay? This is liquid. Isn't this liquid? Okay, so it's ml. What is that in ml? Just whole number, 30. Use 30 instead of 29.57. That's 30. 16 ounces to ml is 180 milliliters. See how I'm tying it to your current class? 400. Okay. 480 ml. 180, right? 30. So 16 ounces you're gonna use a conversion factor in ounces 30 ml, 60 ounces is equivalent to 480 ml. Okay, I'm tying it to your current class, PHA 235, which is pharmacy lab skills. So you cannot use this for anything that you need to compound or make or mix more than 400, if it's more than 480 ml. Does this look nice to you? Another thing I'd like to point out. You use a 480 ml bottle, but your liquid is only up to here. No, right? So what's another thing that we wanted to do when we're doing compounding? I don't know if we have something available, but let me tell you this. Okay? We use the smaller bottle as much as possible for aesthetic. It looks nice, but if you just pass to your patient, like, who drank it? It's like, is this really for me? Why is it just this one? Okay. But there are also reasons why some bottles are like this, because they have to add water to it. They have like antibiotics will come in powder form, okay? And the instruction says add this many water, okay? Is that clear? Okay. Going back, 16 ounces, 480 ml capacity of your bottle. Can be used in ounce and it can be used in grains. Okay, let's talk about the rules. Some of those Roman numerals you can repeat a maximum of what? 3. 3 times. Which ones are these? You can do 3 I's, which is equivalent to 2 I's. Can you repeat B? No. What else can you repeat? X. So if it's 2 X's, it's going to be 20. If it's 3, it's going to be 30. Correct. What else? C. Okay. So if it's 2 C's, it's going to be 200. If it's 3, it's going to be 300. Okay. What else? M. 2 M's 2000, 3 M's 3000. You have to remember this, okay? And then I haven't mentioned that some prescribers also use Roman numerals for quantity. Okay? It's hard when it's retail because we still accept handwritten prescriptions. So quantity can look like this, right? One of the things that TJC says to do not use is the C anymore. Right? It looks like a 0. It may be misread as what? 100 or whatever it is that is a very C. Okay, you can repeat that. Another thing I'd like to highlight, talking application. There was a time wherein a student of mine said, "This I was out, I think, and there was a substitute, and they couldn't answer the prescription that I left with them because it looks like this, right? And I failed to mention that this one actually is the same as. Okay. So when you see this, it means 3 tablets, 2 tablets, 1 tablet. Okay, is that clear? Okay, another rule for Roman numerals. If 1 or more letters are placed after another letter of greater value, just add the whole thing. What do I mean by that? Okay, the I, this will be 5, right? And then I is 1. So this is 6. You just add, right? But the order has to be greater value going down. Okay. The next rule would be if it's less value first and then greater value, say for example, IV, what happens here? This is a 1, this is a 5. Subtract the less value from the greater value, which gives you 4. Okay. And a student kept saying, so I really can't remember 4 and 6. I said, that's how you look at it, I say. I told the story about the number 4. Number 4 is the number of death for the Chinese. It kills somebody with your IV. If you calculated your math wrong, right? Okay, so, okay, that's what he said. And then he never forgot. He never flip-flop 6 and 4 anymore. Okay, what's another rule you can give me? Always subtract, yeah. So you can only subtract which ones? I, X, and C. Just notice it's 1, 10, and 100. Okay? And you cannot subtract 2 at a time. So how do we write 90? JD. How do we write 90? X and C, because this is 100 and this is 10. Subtract. Is that clear? Okay, very good. Are we missing anything? There's one here, which I don't really like to use because it says a bar placed on top of a letter or a string of letters increases the numeral's value by 1,000 times. So say for example, XB, if you put a bar here, okay, it becomes 15,000. Okay. We don't use this much in pharmacy or in medicine because it's confusing. People who do this, right? It's also 15. Remember last time I did Roman numerals, I told you, oh darn, I didn't wear the watch that has a mistake on the Roman numerals. You know how we use Roman numerals on watches? Okay. I'm wearing the watch now. Okay, I'm wearing a watch that has a mistake on Roman numerals. I'm giving you 10 seconds each one and figure out, don't say it until everybody's done, and figure out what's wrong with this watch when it comes to using Roman numerals. Okay, so 10 seconds, Edwin, and pass it on to Geneva, 10 seconds, we don't say it, and then I'll see you figure it out. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pass it on to Geneva. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give it to Ellie. How could they make that mistake? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's pass it on to Shady. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't say it. I'll give it to Miss J too.
I'm trying to see the time.
No. Figure out what was wrong. 'Cause my watch is in Roman numerals.
Something wrong?
There was a mistake on this watch with the Roman numerals. Okay, I told him last time I did Roman numerals, I said, darn it, I didn't wear the watch. And today I remembered I did Roman numerals, so I wore the watch. Okay, let's see. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, figured out what was wrong. It was too fast.
I worked for
Can't even relate.
Let's try it. Okay, number 4 was wrong.
Did they put 1, 2, 3, 4?
Correct. I'm not gonna say the name, the brand of the
Oh,
watch.
I saw the brand.
Okay, so this is my watch a long time ago when it was still like,
Still.
yeah, it was still like a thing.
You know,
When the brand was a thing,
I had a watch that brand as well.
right? Because it was like, what?
I mean, it's still a nice brand.
It's still a nice brand. It's just, I don't want to say it, but I'm saying, okay, I'm gonna pass it around. The Shay figured it out. It's the number 4 because it was written as 4 eyes.
I thought it was
Oh,
yeah.
Oh,
I thought it was 3,
Yeah.
I was no, like that's not
10 seconds might be too fast, you're right. I did 30 seconds before the previous class.
Oh, yeah.
But you know, I was thinking this is gonna be easy because, you know, as humans, we're focused on mistakes.
You wear that all the time.
No, I don't.
Because of that.
No, I really, because I always have my smartwatch. So I have to give up my smartwatch today. Just for you to see this. I didn't even know if it has battery still because I haven't worn it in a long time. But I took it out of my jewelry box. I said, oh, now I remember because I told you last time. I said, I'm going to bring my watch that has a mistake on it and I want you to figure out what was the mistake. So the 4 was written I. He's not figured it out too. And there was one student who raised this and he said, maybe they did that on purpose. I said, why would they do that on purpose, right? Because people like us would would be, that is wrong. That's what he said. And I said, kind of makes sense, right? But for people with, like, this is gonna mess with my brain, this is gonna mess with my brain with OCD, it's difficult. Okay. And that was a valid point when he pointed it out. Because, oh, maybe because IUD is 4 and VI is 6, and they don't want to interchange that. But if you're wearing it right, how could you?
Yeah, it's always 12/6.
Yeah. Okay, so it's graduation soon. Okay. I got my son's teacher, his math teacher, a clock. Okay, the clock is, it hasn't arrived yet, but I was waiting for it. The clock is so cool because, say for example, this is a clock, right? The 12 is like 6 times 2. And then the 3, each one has a math like question or formula. Because he's fun, he's such a fun teacher. Anyway, I found that on Amazon. I remember I was asking you, and a pair of socks that says, one foot says, I'm 25% funny, and then the other foot says, and 85% bad at math. So I showed my son and said, Mom, that's wrong. How could they not do math? I said, think about it. Again, I'm 25% funny. Like he figured out that that's not equivalent to 100, right? And 85% bad at math. Like, I get it now. And then I got the writing teacher. I love his teacher, it's really cool. A book and teacher on day one. Because I forgot about teacher appreciation. Anyway, so any more rules? When do we see this in your practice? Quantity in prescriptions, strength of the drug in grains and ounces, or total quantity as well. Ellie, curious for more rules?
Oh, no.
Okay, go in. Why is your energy so low today? Let's stop. You missed Ashley.
No, I'm just tired.
Is Ashley the life of this party?
No.
Tired.
It's the MPTA.
What was that?
The MPTA, the timer.
The timer? What do you mean timer?
We finished the module 1. It has a 25-minute
The
timer.
module has a timer on it.
The exam.
They just got anxiety.
Oh, this is your ID, sir.
And no, just the module.
Oh,
I just
okay.
schedule the module so they all can see it.
I was
Well,
not prepared for the timer.
Every day, life has a stressor. Yeah. Today, because I just got there, right? When the dog jumped me real fast and started licking my arm, it's like, not today, not today. Like, sitting next to that guy, not today. Any given day, I'd met, no problem. It's just that her daughter, it was really a good presentation, but Beth was saying that her daughter has allergies on her too. So she has dogs. So I said, how do you do it? What do you want? Maybe when we come back from our trip, I'll consider. But not get a dog before we leave. Oh, way. So I'll think about that. Because everyone in my family has dogs. So that's each one, like spoiled dogs. So I think he's gonna want it more than that.
Oh, no.
My cover is tired. How can you have a dog? That's what he does. There's one dog I always fed and loved that never had an allergic reaction. But they would feed the dog, they would pet and hug the dog. It's also physical. She said she just avoids the face in the mouth. I watched right away. No, I felt bad because, luckily we were at the resource center. advisory board. If it's any other day, I'm okay. It doesn't do like more close to that. It's just, it doesn't look nice. Big one, like above or something big. Maybe similar to what Mason had. Did he have? Especially if this is hot. Ready? And ready? SS came from the word semis, 1/2. I did plan on doing a Roman numeral lecture, but somebody requested.
Oh, is it? Oh.
Ready? Ready? Okay. You know, last 13 years of teaching, student would get an almost perfect score on final exams or quizzes, but there will be 4 questions on Roman numerals. That was the reason why the students didn't get a perfect score, because of Roman numerals. You forget. Ready? Okay, Geneva, 1 to 5. 3 guys. You don't want to say I. My student said, when this girl says I, just getting upset. Okay. Next one, 48, number 2.
XLV 3X.
Excellent. Why is there something traumatizing when your mom says ay? Yeah, get ready.
Grinding of teeth.
Okay. 13. I'm sorry. XIII.
13.
Okay. 4.
161.
5.
BCX5.
PTCE.
XB.
BCXB.
BCXB.
BCXB sounds like a car model. BCX5. Okay. Number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Edwin. SS. The SS has to be lowercase, huh? Okay. 7.
MMBI.
MMBIA.
1,714.
1,714. Correct. 9.
505.
Correct. 10.
24.5.
24.5. 24 and a half. All of those are acceptable. 11 to 15. Ellie. CDXLVIII. She doesn't have problem saying I. 12. Very good. 13. Correct. 14. 15. Correct. Okay. 16 to 20. Jaden. Correct. 17. Correct. And number 20. 55. Okay. Any questions? We got everything correct. Okay. Next topic. We're just going to do a review. Not so tedious. You already did this. Okay. The next, homework first. Homework doing. Today's for today. Next topic will be, next 2 topics, hopefully you can be sure, will be the variables that we use for body surface area. What's body surface area? Variables that we use. Combination of what? Body surface area is a combination of which variables? Very good. Height and weight. Okay. Height and weight, which means it's going to be kilograms to pounds conversion or pounds to kilograms conversion, and centimeters to inches or inches to centimeters conversion. You will get kilograms to pounds first. What's the conversion factor for pounds to kilograms or vice versa? Correct. 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. What about length or height conversion? What's the conversion factor for an inch? An inch is equal to 2.5 centimeters or 2.54 centimeters. If you use 2.5, that's fine. Work on the weight first, and then I'll give you the next worksheets for height. Any questions on these two topics? No? You guys are good? So we don't have pressure. But we're gonna get to, right? Okay. We're gonna get to, hopefully they still haven't backed out. And yeah, we still are gonna